Okay, so I wanted to go ahead and switch this VHS camera because I downloaded the app, it was free, and I wanted to test it out, and I wanted to go ahead and see how it looks. But the first person I wanted to talk about who did the impossible and made it the possible is Steve Jobs. And if you don't know who Steve Jobs is, I'm pretty sure a lot of people do, but he is the founder of Apple. And his other friend, his first name was Steve, I forgot his last name, but it was mostly Steve Jobs, I think, but also his friend Steve. But Steve Jobs literally created Apple around the 1970s, and by the way, he was a college dropout, and he made Apple one of the biggest phone companies ever in his garage, literally in his garage, which is crazy, right, to think about. This man literally created Apple starting in his garage while being a college dropout, which is crazy because if you started something and you say, oh, in your garage, that's impossible. But guess what Steve Jobs did? He made the impossible possible by creating Apple in his garage. So if you wanted to do something in your garage, I'm just telling you, you could go ahead and do that. Now, I'm gonna move on to the second person. Okay, the second person I wanted to talk about who did the impossible and made it the impossible is Steven Spielberg. And I don't think a lot of people know him, but Steven Spielberg is a director who creates movies, and his story is incredible. Like, he wanted to be a filmmaker at the young age, right? And at the young age of 16, he made a movie with only $500. Think about that, $500, and he made that movie. Now, that was him at a young age, you know, that was way back then. But still, he made a movie that was only given $500 to him, which is pretty crazy. But what made his story so inspiring is that he didn't have the best grades in high school at all. I don't really know if he didn't really care about school, or I'm pretty sure he cared about filmmaking more than school. But his grades in high school weren't really that great. He got rejected like 3 times in filmmaking, and guess what? He didn't let that stop him. He did not let that stop him. And he went on to go ahead and win 3 Oscars. 3 Oscars, and I think it was 51 nominees, I think if you search it up, I think he had like 51 nominees, and he won 3 Oscars. So literally, he made the impossible of not becoming a filmmaker because he gets rejected and probably he wasn't good enough. And he said to himself, or I'm not sure what he said, but I'm pretty sure he might have said, oh no, I'm not gonna let this stop me. And he made it, and he just, boom, and winning 3 Oscars. That story is very inspiring because a lot of people get rejected multiple times, and they might feel like giving up. But people who were rejected, who failed and never gave up, those people, they succeed in a lot of things. And just like Michael Jordan too, man, I mean, it's not the third example, but still, Michael Jordan literally got kicked out high school team, I think, and he made it to the NBA, won 6 championships, and is one of the greatest players of all time. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and go to the final person, the third person who made the impossible the possible. And the final person I wanted to talk about who did the impossible, made it the possible, is Walt Disney. And his story is also very inspiring. So he used to work at, for newspapers, and I think he was his boss or supervisor or something like that. He said to Walt that he didn't have enough imagination or creativity. So he fired him. He literally fired him for not having that. And guess what Walt Disney did? He created Disney. Like, you know, Disney Park, Disney World, the Disney shows we all know and stuff like that. And he literally made that a $1 billion company. Alright? He made Disney a $1 billion company. And once he started the cartoons early on, that's when Disney literally shut up and made a ton of money. So he said, oh, that guy thinks I have no creativity and imagination. Well, guess what? He made Disney. He made it creative. He had imagination. He had the thought. He had the passion. He had obsession. And he made Disney one of the most richest companies of all time. I don't know if it's in the top 10. I'm pretty sure it's in the top 100. Top 100, pretty sure. But that man literally took those two words he heard from a supervisor or boss saying, you have no imagination or creativity. And he literally created Disney and had imagination and creativity and just made Disney one of the most valuable or one of the richest companies of all time. And bro is, I mean, I know some people don't like him, but bro literally created something that his supervisor, or I think the boss, his boss, saying he has no imagination or creativity. So that's why I wanted to make this video, to tell you guys that the impossible is always the possible. It doesn't matter if you want to be a singer, if you want to be a basketball player, if you want to be something else. I'm not sure what else you want to be, but something else you want to be, you could go ahead and do it. Like literally anything is possible. Okay, even the word impossible has possible. Just cut out the M. Like, you get what I'm saying. But yeah, that's why I wanted to make this video today, because I feel like nowadays people might think to themselves the impossible is the impossible because it's so hard to do. But all you have to do is have obsession, you're gonna have dedication, and you just kind of have to do, you're gonna have to do hard work. And guess what? Hard work pays off when it succeed. So yeah, make sure you always think to yourself, even though this is hard to do and it might seem impossible, you gotta put that aside and say it is possible. And no matter what, I'm gonna do it and make it possible, and hopefully it turns out successful later on in the years, and then afterwards you'll be like, yes, I did it, it was worth it. The impossible was actually the possible. Always think that way. The impossible is the possible. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to, you could subscribe, like, comment, whatever you want to do. Let's make this day a good day. Other than that, it's been Ibrahim. I'm out.